from one city to another. He says in a couplet, "It is hoped that the bone joiner will set the broken bones." 14 I have not lost hope in Allah. He will indeed help those who suffer hardships. It is mentioned in An-Nisa Wat Taqasum 15. Mansur entrusted a room to the wife of his son, Mahdi, and administered an oath that so long as he was alive, she would not open the room. When Mansur died, Mahdi opened the room and he saw that dead bodies of descendants of Abu Talib were lying in it. Their parentage was written on pieces of paper, hanging from their ears, and some children could also be seen amongst them. Makrizi writes, "What connection such crimes have with justice, with the religion of Muhammad and with the conduct of religious leaders? What link has this hard-heartedness with the kinship of the mercy of the worlds? By Allah, these actions have nothing to do with religion and faith." On the other hand, these indecent actions are mentioned in Quran as follows. O hypocrites! But if you held command, you were sure to make mischief in the land and cut off the ties of kinship. 47. 22. Those it is whom Allah has cursed, so He has made them deaf and blinded their eyes. 47. 23. Is this the conduct of one who claims that he has faith in Allah, the Judgment Day and the Quran, and that he is the Caliph of Allah and son of the uncle of Allah's Messenger? Imam Ja'far is Sadiq and Mansur. Mansur gave the title of as Sadiq to the sixth Imam because Imam Ja'far had earlier correctly predicted Mansur's rulership. He had also predicted that Muhammad and Ibrahim, the two sons of Abdullah ibn Hassan, would be killed by Mansur. 16. During Mansur's reign, Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq advised his followers, "You should obey and remain silent." 17 Because you are under the reign of a king whose deceit caused even the mountains to tumble down. However, Mansur was not satisfied with the silence of the holy Imam and the obedience of his followers. So long as the people considered Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq to be the Imam and superior to Mansur and others. Muhammad Askantari says, "I went see Mansur and found him absorbed in deep thoughts. I inquired him why he was in such a pensive mood. Mansur said, I have killed more than 1,000 descendants of Fatima, but I have not killed their leader so far. I asked, who is that? Mansur replied, I know you consider him your Imam and believe that he is my Imam, your Imam and Imam of the entire world. 18 However, I shall decide about him now." This narration shows that the Shia faith has flourished so much at that time that it even influenced Mansur's associates. It is said that even Rabi, Mansur's minister, was a Shia. Ibn Abd Rabh writes, 19. When Mansur halted in Medina on his way to Mecca, he said to Rabi, "Summon Ja'far ibn Muhammad before me. May Allah kill me if I do not kill him." Rabi delayed summoning the Imam but eventually called him up on Mansur's insistence. When Imam Ja'far arrived in the court, his lips were moving slowly. He approached Mansur and greeted him. Mansur said, "O enemy of Allah, may Allah destroy you. You are creating trouble in my territories. May Allah kill me if I don't kill you." Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq said, Prophet Sulayman got the kingdom and thanked Allah. Prophet Ayyub bore much hardship, but with fortitude. Prophet Yusuf was oppressed, and he forgave the oppressor. You are their successor, and it is only proper that you follow their example. Mansur lowered his head, then raised it again and said, "Of all the tribes, you are closer to us and nearest in kin." He then embraced the Imam, made him sit on his own seat, and began conversing with him. Thereafter he said, "Bring the gift and dress for his Sadiq immediately and see him off with honor." When the holy Imam came out, Rabi followed him and said, "I have been defending you since the past 3 days and doing all I could to save you. When you approached Mansur, I saw that your lips were moving in a silent prayer and consequently he could not harm you. As I am a servant of the ruler, I stand in need of this supplication. Please teach it to me." The prayer that Imam Ja'far taught him is translated as follows. O Lord, protect me with your eye which never sleeps, guard me with your power which never becomes the target of calamity, so that I may not perish, for it is you on whom all my hopes are fixed. O Lord, forgive me, for you have granted me abundant gifts for which I could not thank you. Even then you did not withdraw those gifts from me, and there were many misfortunes to which I was subjected by you. And I showed lack of patience. O Lord, Let me remain safe from his mischief with your support and power of defense, and I seek your refuge from his evil. Mu'alla ibn Qunay was amongst the closest Shias of Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq. He administered secretarial and financial affairs of the Holy Imam. Mansur wrote to Dawood ibn Urwa, the governor of Medina, to kill Mu'alla. Dawood summoned Mu'alla and said, "Write down the names of Shias or I will behead you." Mu'alla said, "Do you threaten me with death? I swear by Allah that even if the name of one Shia is under my foot, I shall not lift it." Dawood cut off Mu'alla's head and hanged him on the scaffold. When Imam as-Sadiq received the news of Mu'alla's martyrdom, he was extremely disturbed, and he cursed Dawood. His curse had not yet come to an end when the news of Dawood's death arrived. 20. Abu Faraz has writes 21 that Mansur wrote to his governor to set the house of Imam Sadiq on fire and to poison him. Consequently, he was poisoned to death. 22. As admitted by Mansur himself, he killed more than 1,000 descendants of Fatima. As regards the Shias killed by him, their number is unknown. Mansur invented new types of torture and enjoyed killing people in different ways. He whipped people on the eyes, blinding them. He pulled down houses on the heads of the inhabitants and placed them alive in the walls. He poisoned them, etc. However, some ignorant persons say that Mansur had faith in Allah, was the representative of Allah on earth, and was related to the Holy Prophet. A close study of the history of Muslim rulers leads us to conclude that if Mansur and those like him had not been there, Islam, with its sublime morals and teachings, would have spread in the East and West. Mankind would have professed Islam without being invited to it, and not a single non-Muslim would have been left. Mahdi, the Abbasid. After Mansur, his son Mahdi, 23 ruled from 158 AH to 169 AH. Under the pretense of doing good and kindness, he removed all barriers to his reign and unleashed such murders and persecution that none of the descendants of Imam Ali was spared. Only the following two persons escaped the rule of Mansur. 1. Ali ibn Abbas ibn Hassan ibn Ali ibn Abu Talib. Mahdi captured and imprisoned him, and later poisoned him. As a result, his body swelled, and his limbs disintegrated. 2. Isa ibn Zayd ibn Ali ibn Husayn ibn Ali ibn Abu Talib. Abu al-Faraj writes in Makatalat Talibayan, as regards faith, knowledge